Hey guys, so today we are going to be looking at Scotland. I'm going to start in Edinburgh and then I'm going to go into the Highlands where it is very cold. Bring a jacket. We took a tram from the airport into Old Town Edinburgh, and then in order to see the Highlands we would take buses on day trips. They do have 3 day trips if you would like that as well, but we did just day trips to different parts of Scotland. Out of all the countries I visited, the Scottish people are the nicest people. They have like what we call Southern hospitality. We actually missed our bus. We were waiting at the wrong place and they actually stopped and waited for us for about 30 minutes. They're so nice. So we're gonna start with St. Giles Cathedral. I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. And then we're gonna go to Diagon Alley. Yes, I said Diagon Alley for Harry Potter fan. It's not actually Diagon Alley, but it's where J.K. Rowling got her idea of Diagon Alley with the 2 streets on top and below. And there's also really good places to eat there. Highly recommend. And then I just have some architecture of different buildings for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get quiet so you can look. Okay, so now we're going into Edinburgh Castle, which is actually on top of a volcano, which is no longer active. This is the view on top of Edinburgh Castle. So now we're going into St. Margaret's Chapel. You can pause right here if you want, go ahead and read this, but basically it's the oldest building in Edinburgh Castle. This is inside of the chapel. It's really small. And then this is her gospel book. Imagine how old that is. More views from on top of a higher point of Edinburgh Castle. Go ahead and pause here and you can read about Mons Meg, which is this wrought iron cannon and the cannonballs. This was some really good whiskey. Highly recommend inside the castle. Then we have this fireplace, and then I just have some beautiful pictures from inside the castle for you guys to enjoy, like these coat of arms that I just thought were absolutely gorgeous. So go ahead and pause here again. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, the Red Wedding was actually inspired by this story. So Mary Queen of Scots actually gave birth to her son James here at Edinburgh Castle because she felt safer here. You can see on this slide right here that the walls beneath the castle, they're on like a cliff, so they go straight up, so it has really good defenses. So going up to the castle, the area is called the Royal Mile, and there's a bunch of architecture, places to eat, things to do there. Lots of good whiskey drinking in that area. So this is called the Hub. It's a public arts and event center, and it's got a Gothic spire at the top, and it's the highest point in central Edinburgh. The Scott Monument is a Victorian Gothic monument to Scottish author Sir Walter Scott, and it's the 2nd largest monument to a writer in the world. One of my favorite things about traveling is getting to try the different foods of the regions. The fish and chips was good. Even their burger was made different. I loved the meat pies. That is my favorite thing. Here are the kelpies. Absolutely gorgeous, especially at night. Side note about horses, the unicorn is actually Scotland's national animal. Every time our tour guide saw a horse, he would say, "Look, there's a unicorn." Stirling Castle is a palace and a fortress. It's one of the most used royal residences. So Mary, Queen of Scots, was crowned Queen of Scotland here in the Chapel Royal, and her mom lived here for the first 5 years of her life. The castle itself is surrounded by cliffs on 3 sides, so it's very secure and safe. Where are my Harry Potter fans at? So this is the inspiration behind Pivot Drive, which is where the Dursleys live in Harry Potter. So next we have Loch Luss, which is a beautiful lake. A loch is a lake in Scotland. This is a beautiful view. It's called Rest and Be Thankful. You just sit up here, have a picnic if you want, and enjoy the beautiful view and rest and be thankful. The one thing I loved about Scotland, it was so green. Everywhere was green. This is Edinburgh Castle. You might recognize it if you are a Downton Abby fan from the Christmas episode, where the Grantham family went and traveled to their cousins in Scotland. It's actually home to the Campbell clan, so you will see here in this upcoming picture that they actually have Campbell soups on the wall. There's a little cafe in there that the Duchess of Argyll runs. So this is all authentic old kitchen stuff. This is the table they actually use out of Downton Abbey, and this is what you would expect for late 18th century, early 19th century table settings. Doune Castle was built in the 1400s. It was the base for the Campbell's clan for about 150 years, but then after the Jacobite Rising, it was converted into a garrison for a stronghold, but then it was abandoned in the 1700s. This is one of the cutest animals on earth. They call them coos, which is a cow. They're just so cute. This is the first look at Doune Castle. So Doune Castle was used as a filming location for Game of Thrones and for Outlander. So 2 big, my favorite shows, which was awesome. Go ahead and pause here and read this really good information on the castle. So the castle was originally built in around the 13th century, and then it was damaged by the Scottish Wars of Independence, and then it was rebuilt in the 14th century by Robert Stewart, Duke of Albany, who was the son of King Robert II of Scots and Regent of Scotland from 1388 until his death. You are currently looking at their bathroom system. Here's the story of Greyfriars Bobby, which is a dog that essentially stayed in the graveyard and doted on its master, who was dead at about 2 years old. Does this name look familiar? Harry Potter, Thomas Riddle. She wrote a lot of her book here. This is Commando Memorial. It is dedicated to the men of the original British commando forces raised during World War II. It overlooks the training areas of the Commando Training Depot established in 1942 at Doune Castle. Here we have the most famous lake in the world, Loch Ness. You won't believe it. I saw Nessie. There she is. You see her. This is the Three Sisters mountain in Scotland. It's 3 different peaks. This was probably the coldest day we were there, and it was raining. And we didn't bring coats because it was in June. So I had 3 layers of sweaters on. I'll go ahead and mention again, the meat pies are the best. If you go to Scotland, get the meat pies. I forgot to mention, I tried haggis 3 different ways, and I loved especially the fried haggis. It sounds so gross, but it's so good. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Comment below if you've been to Scotland or where you'd like to go in the future. I'd love to talk to you guys.